This is Swaggersouls. He's best known for playing games.
Yo, Grizzy, I got a lot of allegations about me being racist. Can we start having sex?
Making vlogs.
Hey, fellow political activist. Hey,
and of course, smoking enough weed to kill a small child. But this miniature 4'20" man is easily one of the internet's favorite stoners. And today, we're gonna go through why that's the case. Enjoy the video. In order to understand how Swagger became the internet's favorite stoner, we need to first understand how he became so liked in the first place. Other than looking like he just came home from a crusade, I believe there's a few key reasons that make this guy so likable and enjoyable to watch. So without further ado, let's go through them all, starting with reason number 1, his personality. Now this one is pretty obvious. I mean, in order for people to like you online, you gotta have a good personality. You can't be a bitch. But I think what makes his personality so good is that it's unique. I don't think there's a better way to describe Swaggersouls' personality than a drug-addicted 40-year-old uncle that gives you the most unhinged dating advice that sounds straight from the 1920s. It honestly reminds me a lot of Schlatt's alcoholic divorced man personality. Not many people can pull it off, but Swagger does it in such a way that just feels so welcoming to the audience watching, and I'm sure each new viewer of his feels the same way. Every time you step into a Swaggersouls video, it feels like you're listening to your uncle share his life story with you as he overdoses on ketamine. And I think that's great. Another part of Swagger's personality that I really like and was honestly kind of unexpected for me is his kindness. Now, if you watch any of these 3 videos from Swaggersouls, you will see a lot of fan interactions. And I honestly wasn't expecting to see how kind Swagger is to his audience. He lets them kiss his helmet, wear his helmet, hug him, hit a weed pen. It almost feels like he'd do anything to make sure his fans have a good experience. He's spoken in the past about how anxious he gets with meeting fans, but I think it's great that he puts his anxiety aside in order to give them a great experience. Another reason I think Swaggersouls is on such another level when it comes to being a content creator comes from the one thing that separates him from everybody else: his helmet. Honestly, this might seem like a pretty out there reason, and I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, but let me explain. I think his helmet actually brings a type of sincerity from an audience standpoint that you can't really get with any other channel out there. I mean, think about it. In a sense, you could look at Swagger's channel and confidently know that he's not in the YouTube business for personal glory or fame or anything like that. Because with the helmet, his identity has been kept a secret from the internet since he started 8 years ago. He's spoken before on why he keeps his identity a secret, mentioning that he enjoys the privacy and it lets him relax in public spaces when he's not in character. Obviously, that's respectable, but I think it speaks volumes of his good characteristics, and it shows that Swagger is in it solely for the enjoyment of making videos, which I think adds a sprinkle of genuine personality that's rare in this day and age of the internet. Speaking of genuine, it's time I bring in the final reason I think Swaggersouls is just built different. Now, I think this goes for the majority of the Misfits members, but they all have something that just makes them feel so relatable. And Swaggersouls is no different. The relatability that he carries just feels so comforting. When you sit down and watch a Swaggersouls video, you truly feel like you're watching a guy just be himself and hang out with his friends. A lot of internet personalities will put on a fake persona or something when the camera comes on. I know every YouTuber isn't like this, but there are many YouTubers out there that throw on a fake persona in order to come off as a relatable person to the viewer. And I don't get that impression at all from Swaggersouls. The reality is, for me personally, Swagger just comes off as some normal guy. Some normal guy who does drugs and has fun making videos with his friends. And I think that, combined with his humble behavior, is what makes him so great. So after all that, I think it's safe to say that Swaggersouls is one of the best when it comes to content creation. His personality, unique look, and relatability have all played a huge part in his rise to the top percentile of YouTube. And it's certainly why I think he's become the internet's favorite stoner.